Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, I've got my friend, not seen her for a year. Can you call that a friend after a year? Of course you can. Stephanie Waring, revealing a new book. What's the title of the book?
Breaking the Script.
Tell me about this, mate. Show me that image on the front of that.
Okay.
It's sick.
So thank you for having me back, by the way. Do you remember last time we spoke, I told you I was writing a book, but I couldn't really say too much about it.
Yeah.
And I said I'd come back and announce what I had going on. And well, this was released in June. It's currently doing quite well on Amazon. And I'm just about to release the audio. So I thought I'd come along and tell you all about it. So it's not a typical memoir, and a lot of people have been saying when they've read it, it's not what you would expect. You know, usually when you read about people on TV and their lives, they just kind of go from the beginning and just talk about their lives. And, you know, I mean, who cares? Who wants to, not about them, I mean me, who wants to read about Cindy from Hollyoaks' life? It's based on 6 parts and it's about finding happiness. The premise was about I'll be happy when. And I actually had the idea of writing it because I knew I had a story. It was about a year before leaving Hollyoaks. But when I got the axe from the show, I just thought, what now? What do I do now? Like, this is another trauma. This is not a trauma, but another change, but another identity.
It's a trauma though, isn't it? It is
Yeah.
a trauma. It's a trauma because it's like it changes your identity, isn't it?
That's the thing. I was doing Hollyoaks for 16 years on the, you know, that's the longest run I did. And the money's good, you know, I was doing an extension at the time, so I was having a full house renovation, and I was in the thick of that when I got that news. I knew I had another contract lined up, so it was kind of like when I did get the news, it was like, oh crap, like what do I do now? What's the next step? You know, because I knew that I wasn't just going to fall into another acting job straight away, because it's not how it works. You know, everyone's fighting for the roles these days, and the industry's completely changed. So I just knew I had this story, and I just thought, get this down, because I don't know if I'm going to have a mental health problem having had this news. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When something happens in your life.
So you're very aware
default,
of it.
Yeah. I would default to something like, say, what happened in my past. Maybe, okay, well, I can control this. I can't control that, but I can control this. So I just started writing it down. And the premise was about the moving goalposts of life. You know, when you look for happiness outside yourself, which everybody does. Oh, well, this will make me happy. You know, if I get my weight down to the perfect, you know, number on the scale, I'll be happy. And then that goalpost shifts, because you get there and go, well, no, I'm still not satisfied with this. I want more. You know, I'll be happy when I'm famous. That was the thing for me when I was growing up. You know, well, I just want to be loved and liked. You know, I wanted to be Kylie, but I couldn't sing, so I thought, well, I'll act. So I went down the acting route, and then that became a different ball game. The goalposts keep changing. Oh, well, it's love then. You know, I'll be happy when I fall in love, because the first butterfly you catch, you know, you catch feelings for someone when you're younger. You know, your hormones start going, and you become fixated with this feeling. Well, I need more of that. I need more of that. Maybe it's that. But it's about looking inside yourself, and that's one thing that I never did. So it's kind of about finding you happy and about the things that I've done in my life, but on the flip side, have caused me more pain. So I'll be happy when I'm skinny. I had anorexia. I nearly died. I'll be happy when I'm famous. Well, then I got on TV. Brilliant. I made myself do it. But I had bulimia when I got Hollyoaks and had it for 25 years. And this is the stuff that I wrote about in the book. So there was always like a passenger, a monster. There was something that was like holding me back. So that's kind of the premise.
It's a good premise. I really like that. How do you shake a monster like that? Do you ever shake that monster, or do you just make your friends with him?
I think the monster, you turn it into something else. So, for instance, it's kind of like it moves and then it'll form as something else. So if you're pre-proposed to addiction, for instance, now I don't have addiction problems in the sense of like alcohol or drugs or anything like that, or gambling or shopping. Mine was addicted to losing weight. So the anorexia, you know, it was that control. Then when the bulimia started, it was because my body was fighting for something. It was fighting for food. It was fighting to survive. So it latched on to, oh, well, I can eat this, throw up, and, you know, there's no consequences. And that cycle of dopamine, you hit, you know, you get that feeling your body wants. Then there's obviously the guilt, the remorse. What do I do? Get rid of it. depression, how do I lift myself up? And that cycle continues. And that cycle continues for 25 years. But then it moved to, maybe it was when I had children, the control of trying to get them to sleep at night and putting them in a routine. And when they didn't have the bottles, I had an anxiety disorder through that. So I felt like it morphed into different faces throughout my whole life. And I think that happens a lot with that kind of, control, addiction. And I say addiction with bulimia is like being addicted to food and that cycle and what happens. I've been 5 years free, maybe longer with bulimia, but it took a bloody long time to get there. And I think it's just sort of stepping out and doing something different and doing that thing that scares you. The thing that, like, for me was eating the trigger foods and not throwing it up.
So is that what breaking the script means? Breaking the script
means when you have your life and it's a story, like it's a story, isn't it? It's a movie.
Yeah. Everyone tells them it's the story. Yeah, not good enough or whatever that.
But you think of your life as a movie. You can't press rewind, you can't pause, you can only go, and the movie keeps on playing. But sometimes we have the script of our life that we keep repeating. We keep repeating the same patterns. We can't break them. Yeah. So it's breaking the script of the movie of your life. And that's where the title came from, because for me it was about breaking patterns and where do I go from now? What do I do next without revolting to what I did previously, to then put myself in a place where I didn't feel good enough and I sought validation. It was about other people. It wasn't never about me. It was all about, well, what will they think? Even I think we discussed this last time, even about going on social media and presenting yourself in a kind of way, and maybe you don't post it because you go, God, what will they think? No one cares, but only you. And that's what holds you back.
Powerful, that, isn't it? I really like the monster analogy. I've not heard that before. That moving monster. Yeah. Moving into other things.
Like forms into something else, doesn't it? It's just like having the devil on your shoulder that goes, go on, do it, be fine. And then you've got you behind it just sort of screaming, go, no, I just need status quo. I just need the equilibrium to be okay, the balance. But then the monster's going, no, do it. You want to. And you just go, fuck it. You press that fuck it button and you go full steam ahead, and then you go, it's okay, well, because I could pick myself up another time. And then you just keep, it's this cycle that just keeps on going round and round and round. I think a lot of mental health has to do with that. I don't think it's talked about enough in that sense, about breaking free of because it can be done, but it does take a lot of work.
Talk to me about love then, and what that does, having bulimia and looking for safety in other people. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, from an early age. So It was the first time I saw the boy on the bus. I was 11 years old, got on the first bus ride to school when I started high school, and I saw him and I had butterflies in my tummy, and I was like, what is that feeling? And I straight away caught them. And there's a chapter called Catching Butterflies. There's a whole part about love and how you chase it. And we do that. We chase that feeling, that beginning moments, the butterflies, the beginning stages of someone, and that feel, what they can bring to us, and what, not how they can change that, but how you can sort of like meet someone and you make up a relationship in your head before, or who they are, stories. And if they break your heart, you're more heartbroken about the image that you created in your head rather than the person being them.
I always say that people, like, Disney's fucked up people.
Yeah, I write that. Yeah, I wrote that in the book. I'm like, Disney's completely fucked me up, because it was always about looking for that first butterfly. So when he actually asked me out, this boy, but he dumped me after 3 months because he fancied my best mate. And he did this 3 times over 3 years. Would ask me out, date me, going out with back then, because I was only young, and then dump me. But I was quite a bigger girl, and I think that's where, well, if I'm thin,
is that when it started?
That's when it started. So when I'm thin and when I'm beautiful, he'll fancy me. So I went on a diet, and then obviously you get the compliments. Oh my God, you look great. Oh my God, you're so thin. And then the teacher goes, I'm worried about you. You're losing too much weight. I think you should see a doctor. Oh my God. Someone of importance, like a teacher, thinks that I should go and see a doctor. Oh, there must be something wrong with me. I'm noticed. I'm then a victim. And it's how you play, you can have the girl who goes on a diet, or a boy who goes on a diet and goes, you know what, I feel great, I look great, end it there, and has a happy life. Or it's a roll of the dice. You can go on a diet, and then it's the validation, the compliments, and then it doesn't stop, because you go, oh, but then what if I start eating normally again? Will I put that weight back on? And then those compliments will stop. And that's the roll of the dice for some people. You're constantly stuck in this cycle of getting the validation because of the outside appearance and not feeling good enough just being who you are to stop it, because that's how it happens for me anyway. And that's when I wrote this, I realised, oh my God, it wasn't my parents' divorce, it wasn't because I was bullied in school, it wasn't because of this or that, it was because that first butterfly and that wanting that love so much and to be wanted, but I thought it's because my physical appearance wasn't good enough, therefore I shrank myself to be seen. How messed up is that?
Fucking hell. That's a fucking monster right from the off, innit? And it just morphing into other fucking things.
Yeah.
How do you get out of that? How do you get out of that cycle? How do you change the scripts on that shit?
I think it's, as you go through, when you're in it, you're in it. And especially with something like anorexia, we're talking about eating disorders, when you're in something like that, no one can say to you, just eat the food. 'Cause it's not about the food, it's about the control. It's about the mental health aspect of it. It's, well, if I eat, then therefore I will be fat. And that's all you can think about. So no one can tell you. I think it's kind of, that thing has got to come from yourself, and it's by time and experience and learning different things, how to manage certain situations. Because I will be in something for 25 years having bulimia. Not constantly, but it's like a kind of cycle where I would never eat the naughty food. I know I've just gone off on a tangent, but if I ate the naughty food, therefore I'd go, oh, well, I've got to eat everything else now. I've got to eat everything else now and throw it up. So I never ate the naughty food. Does that mean? Otherwise I'd have really bad guilt, or I'd go exercising. So I could go months without doing it. But then once I did have that one trigger, then once you're in the cycle, then it might be then it might last a month, it might last a couple of weeks. And it'd happen like that. And it's getting yourself out of those cycle patterns. But it's not easy to do. It's really, really tough. It's about choosing something different and sitting in the uncomfortability of the different. It's eating the pizza and letting the pizza digest and going, oh, actually, nothing bad happened. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Right. If you are someone who thinks that pizza's going to make you put on a stone or even a couple of pounds, you'll then want to throw it up, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But if you eat the pizza and let it digest, but nothing bad happens, you go, oh, well, I didn't put on the weight. Oh, I can eat that again, but not every day, and I'll be fine. And that's how you get the normal
it's
pattern of balance.
To me.
It's about getting that balance
I get it, but
back,
I can't empathise with it. I just can't even
don't
imagine
have to
what
empathise.
I can't even imagine what that is.
I can't imagine never going back there again. I can't ever imagine that happening to me again.
25 years of that, Steph. Just constant on that, and that becomes your identity. That's who. Well, nobody else knows really apart from you, do they? And you're just carrying that on your own, lonely with that. It
was definitely a secret. It was one of those things that I never shared with anyone. And when I did have partners, it was something I'd tell them. And because they never understood.
What would you say to them, the partners?
I would just. I'd find it hard to open up about the anorexia. And sort of have them look at me differently. Like, oh, maybe she's not okay, or maybe watch what I eat. And because when people don't understand fully what you've gone through, you can think there's some kind of judgment there, or there's no understanding. Bulimia was the dirty secret, because that's taking action to do something, and then a lot of something. I'm talking shopping bags at a time. And spending...
Can you give me a gauge of like what when you did like a gorge? I don't know what it
binge,
is.
A binge,
right?
So,
what would that
and this is in the
consist
book. So anyone
Right.
who's suffering from and listening and is suffering from an eating disorder, it's like anorexia or bulimia. I've been very open and honest in my book. So if I just want to say, get help, or read the book. There are, I did find a way out of it. So if I just want to say that before I explain.
Yeah.
When it started off slow. A few biscuits, packet of biscuits was gone. Then a few chocolate, but then crisp. But then it turned into whole shopping bags. And I'm saying, if I wasn't filming, this is at the height of it. So say when I was in Hollyoaks first time around, I put on 3 stone in a year because of it. So I wasn't doing it right. Like your body takes in calories. And if I didn't have filming, I would start off with say a bowl of cereal. Then I'd probably do the boxing. So then I'd probably...
Full box of cereal?
Yeah, full box. Then I'd get rid of it. Then I'd go to the shops. Because the binge was then on, planned. So then I'd go to the shops and I'd fill it with cakes, biscuits, chocolate, or any food I would not deem that I wouldn't eat normally, that I was banned. It was bad. It was you can't eat that. So all the chocolate, sweets, cakes, meals, and I would fill shopping bags full, and I would spend days waiting until my tummy would be out here, and I'd read magazine. My thing was tell you on. It's like maybe a box set of Friends or something would be on. You know, when you get the box set of Friends, the video, the VHS.
Yeah.
Put that on, but I'd have a magazine in front of me as well. So I left my brain, I left my body. I wasn't conscious of what I was doing.
You disassociated yourself.
Disassociated self. It was like I'd gone under a spell, the trigger, then the action, getting it, and then I'd be sick, make sure everything was out, then I'd start again until I went to bed.
Wow.
And that would last all day. And then the next day I'd be so drained and so tired, and my glands swell up like that. So if anyone watched any early episodes of Hollyoaks, say when Cindy gave birth on Christmas Day, which was a huge episode, and they replayed it in lockdown as well, and I was terrified of anyone seeing these episodes because that was at the height of my bulimia. I'd put on these 3 stone. Cindy was giving birth to Holly, the first baby to be born on the show, and I was ill, and my glands were swollen like this. And I remember trying to buy things like Deflatine and stuff because I thought that would shrink them, push them in. And even to this day, I can still feel them. If I'm like ever sick through natural reasons, they would flare up. So that was a tell. And so that was the kind of repercussions of what was happening. But then the next day, when feeling like that, if I still wasn't working, the cycle would continue again. Sometimes even for like a week, maybe I'd have a day off in between. And I found an old diary when I was writing the book. And this was after I'd left the show and I'd lost all the weight, but the bulimia kept coming back. And I was very tiny as well. So it was very strange that I'd gone through a whole year of, I'd put on so much weight and then I had bulimia and then I'd lost so much weight and I was very small but I kept this cycle going. And I'd have these little stars on the top of the diary page that would mark a day that I'd been sick. And then I'd write that. I've written the diary entries in my book of what I've said about my day and what I'm going to do. Like, I can't believe I've had another bad day. I need help. I need someone to help me. And, I just need to get out of this cycle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write all the food down that I eat today and I'm going to stick to that plan. I'm going to do my exercise. And so I was trying to help myself, but at the same time, the switch had flipped. So it's very hard to go back and read all of that and write about it and be truthful and be honest, but I thought that was the only way to do it. I just didn't want to write something and say, oh, I've had bulimia and not explain to the extent of what it was about. And so, yeah, sorry, I just literally just...
Fucking hell, no, it's full on that, isn't it? I had no clue that's what happens. No clue at all. Just you coming and raising that awareness for people.
Yeah, I think that's why I wanted to write this. That was my story. That was the basis of it.
I've heard it, mate, and I've heard it, but now you've explained it, I'm like, fucking hell, is that really what happens?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
It's horrible, and there's so many people suffering with it, and I think there's a lot of people in the public eye suffering this, and I applaud and commend the people who've come forward and talked on it, because I understand the shame behind it, because like I said before I was explaining it, what happens, why it has to be a secret, because you're not going to be like, just a minute, love, you watch that, I'm just going to go to my room and have a full-on binge, and then I'm going to throw up, and then I'll see you in a minute and we'll finish watching our programme. Do you know what I mean? Or just had, you've just gone out for a meal and you've had the dessert, you go, love, I'm just going to go make myself sick, so, but beforehand, I'm just going to go and, go and raid the cupboard of what's in there. It's not normal behaviour. It's a mental illness, so it is done in secret. I remember a time when I was living with my mum, and that was hard to do because, you're living with a parent, and she'd go to bed and I'd try and be sneaky and take little bits of, oh, I can have that, and I can have that, I can have that, and then throw up in a kitchen bowl the kitchen bowl in the kitchen, and then empty it in the toilet. Sometimes I think I'd hear her get up and I'd be like, oh no, she's not hearing me. That adrenaline rush of being caught. It's not as in you want to be. I mean, as in, no one can catch me, because how.
And then something becomes quite addictive about that, because it's a bit of a rush getting caught.
No, not the caught thing. Not about getting caught. That was the one thing you didn't want to happen. It was just.
But there was not something about exciting
No, it wasn't exciting. Gosh, no, it wasn't like that. It was having to do it in the space of living with someone else, but trying to do it and not getting caught. I suppose I don't. Maybe there's some underlying thing in there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, that's why people pinch and stuff. There's like, there's
that element.
maybe
Maybe
a tiny bit. I don't know.
never thought of that,
Yeah.
actually. I don't think so, but because I was caught once by my dad when I was living in his pub.
I think we're just getting away with it. Not being caught, but getting away with it.
Yeah, that feeling, right, I've done it. Yeah, I've done it.
yeah,
I've
got
not been
away
caught, no
with
one
it.
knows. But they knew, you know what? Everyone knew. You know,
So no matter what anyone said to you at that time, that wouldn't have changed anything.
no. Because it's not about what people say, it's what you believe.
Right.
Because if I believe something, if my brain's going, no, this is the way to do it, this is it. It's like anything. Like if someone said to me now, God, Steph, you're so fat, right? Now that's up to me to go, no, I'm not. I look great. Do you know what? In fact, I'm sexy and I like my extra curves. But if someone said, Steph, you're so fat, and I went, oh my God, it's so true. So right, what can I do? Okay, right, well, if I cut my calories there and then I go to the gym and I do an extra workout and then, do you see what I'm saying? It's what you believe to be true. You're changing that, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that I kind of lost my train of thought there, as in how we got to that, what you asked me before.
No, it's fine. It's just I'm trying to understand and delve deep with you. And for me, is like, if somebody said something to me, would I listen? I don't know. I can't put myself in it.
You probably
and if
will.
someone said to you, look, Steph, you need to fucking sort this out. Are you like?
That's what you asked me. It's what you believe to be true, and I think it's how you can help yourself. If you know in yourself, no, this needs to change, you'll find yourself a way to change. But no one can do it for you. No one's words can change anything at all. And if those words are negative, I think that may even have a more negative impact on someone's recovery. Does that make sense? If someone's saying, well, you need to do this, or otherwise this. It's like telling an alcoholic not to drink.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna find a reason then to go out and do it. They'll probably even flip it back on you.
Yeah.
Go, how dare you accuse me of that?
Yeah,
How dare you accuse me of having a drink
Yeah.
when I've not touched a drop in, say a week or so, and you know I haven't. Do you know what? Fuck you. I'm going out. I'm going to see him, but you know that they're going to go, because they're giving him an excuse, because now you're the problem.
Yeah.
It's not about them. So it's kind of like, it's got to be up to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fucking brutal, that.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yeah.
Fucking
I don't know how
hell.
I'm so switched on today. I had insomnia last night.
Did you?
I did
Yeah,
a little
you're right
bit.
on point, man. What point and how do you get yourself to a point where you can have a decent conversation with your head?
I think for me, the bulimia stopped when I found something that was working for me, that was better and made me feel good. And by saying that is, I wasn't in a relationship at the time when it stopped. And I think I was actually coming off a heartbreak, and I knew I had to sort myself out. So I stopped drinking, because I wasn't drinking a lot, but I started lifting weights. I started lifting weights, which I'd never done before, and then I started to fuel my body with food, but the right food. I still didn't go for I didn't eat chocolate and stuff like that, but I was feeling, and my body started to change in a way that it hadn't before, and I was like, oh, so then that became my new addiction, because then I didn't want to put the bad stuff in and wreck all this hard work that I was doing and then start throwing up again, because I started seeing results. And I think that for me, where was the change started to happen. And then I think maybe it probably happened once in that, before the 5-year mark. Then when I met Tom, it was a completely different relationship, and we were in each other's lives every day, and it just kind of fell out of my head. It was just like it just stopped happening. It was like it stopped, and it wasn't a behaviour that I was continuing to do.
Wow.
And then I started to feed myself the treat if I wanted to, but nothing bad happened. I didn't put on weight. And then once you start giving yourself body balance, like it's being nourished and fed, it's not screaming for carbs. So if you undereat, for instance, they all do it, go, oh, I fell off my diet. So a lot of women, especially in midlife, they'll cut the calories, to say about 1,000 a day. Our body needs to survive more than that without even moving, but they slash them. So the body's fighting for something that they're not giving it, but they're like, well, I need to lose weight and I can't have the crisps or the chocolate or the bicky. So at the weekend, they'll binge out and they'll have the takeaway or they'll drink and go, I'll start again Monday. Not just women, I'm just talking in general, the start again Monday phrase. Because your body's screaming for something because it's not getting it. The body thrives on glucose, like our brain and, healthy fats and proteins. It needs every food group to survive. So once I got balance.
Saw food as a sort of like functionality then? And it was a practical way to fuel yourself to live.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of switch that you made.
The switch made, once I started fueling my body, I started craving. Once I started fueling, I stopped craving. Even now, right, like I have a treat every weekend, and I'm going, like, me and Tom going, what do you want for the treat? And I'm like, I don't know, pizza. No, I don't fancy pizza. Whereas before, oh my God, I can't remember the last time I had a pizza. I would devour a pizza right now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got a relationship with that pizza.
Yeah. Or fancy Five Guys. Oh God, I've had burgers now for the last few weeks. I don't fancy burger. But if I'd not had a burger for about 10 years, oh my God, I'm devouring that burger. And then the guilt happens. Then the guilt will go, well, if I've got to get rid of this now. But while I'm at it, I might as well shove a bag of Maltesers down there. And, the crisp that I'll never allow myself to have. Or what about the chocolate cake I never allow myself to have either. Does that make sense? If you don't allow it, then you end up binging on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Look at your face, you're like,
I know, it's just fucking mind-blowing, mate. I'm just in my head, I'm like 25, 26 years.
25. Don't add a year on me. I did well.
No, I'm like, fucking
It did go away for 1 year, though.
How does it go away for 1 year?
It just went away for 1 year. It was actually when I broke up with Dan, my ex, Lexi's dad. And I went really thin as well, and I didn't have anorexia. People think that I was all over the press at the time, and I was very, very, very skinny. And people in work were so worried about me, but I was eating and I wasn't throwing up, and I couldn't understand it. And I think maybe it was because I stopped binging. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but the weight just flew off me, and I think I might have been going through a bit of heartbreak and anxiety as well. But I didn't have anorexia either, and people were like, she's obviously got anorexia. So it's that kind of like, no, I'm not though. And you're telling you the truth. Like, no, I'm not. And I'm actually eating. I'm doing the right things. I'm actually trying to put on the weight. So that was a very weird year for me.
Weird one, isn't it?
Anyway, I just thought I'd drop that in. But that was very,
that?
I don't know. But so now, now I feel like I'm in a good place with it. Still have an unhealthy, I think, relationship with how I look. But
and do the stories ever come in? Do they come in and then you're able to push them back out, or did the stories not just come in?
What do you mean?
Well, like on anything like your food and stuff like that, where it comes in.
The noise.
Yeah, the noise.
All the time.
Can I talk about? Can you give me your opinion on like Manjaro and all these, or do you not want to?
Oh no, I don't have a opinion on it where I think it's good or bad. I think that it can help a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that it can help a lot of people who have diabetes, because that was what the drug was made for. So it's been around a long time, hasn't it? I think it's been glamorized a lot in the press, and I think with certain influencers or celebrities, I don't know their personal reasons for going on the drug. However, what I do have a problem, no, I don't have a problem with, that's the wrong word. In my opinion, I think misuse of it can be dangerous because people are getting it without the proper guidelines and prescriptions. And I think when something like that is managed, I think it can be a fantastic thing. However, you're seeing it a lot now where people are just on it because it's a quick weight loss fix, but they're not looking at the repercussions, the consequences. The thing... It will slow. You'll have to be on it because for not forever, but to keep the weight off, because it slows the metabolism down because you're not fueling your body.
And it cuts off that food noise.
Yes, but if you're not fueling your body and you're living off no calories, what happens when you're off it and your body's screaming for the food and the survival and the calories that it needs? Your metabolism's got to go before it gets back up to the balance that there's and then the weight will pile on. I think that's where the misuse of it can happen. But
See, I know a guy who took it because he was moving house, and this was a big house move, like really stressful, and he's got a really bad relationship with food. And he said he took it for just 12 weeks while he was going through that move, and then he's come off it again because he knew in that 12 weeks he would have binged, he would have put on so much weight.
Right.
He'd used it like that for himself and then just come off it. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm like,
the thing.
It seems
where's the line? I think anyone who's had an eating disorder or any kind of restriction in their life or has or just wants to look a certain way, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole because it's another form of disorder.
Yeah.
It's feeding an eating disorder. It's like I used to fast. So I went through a whole fasting phase. I've had to stop fasting because it's another form of restriction, even if the benefit's brilliant. I think it's great for some people. I think it's great for, for anyone who feels that it's working for them. But I think if you've had an eating disorder or got an eating disorder and you're just going, well, I'm just fasting, it's another form of restriction.
Kind of control as well.
It's a control. It's another way of looking at your diet and not using your diet as just a way of life and living. Food is there for fuel, to be enjoyed. I think we enjoy, consume, but it's there for survival. It's there to, repair our, our muscles, our cells, and, sleep, hormones, balance, all of that. The nutrition is for that. But once you start messing with the body's own natural balance and start pulling things out, it's like a deck of cards. It's like Jenga. We'll just pull that bit out there, pull that bit out there. Oh, then the hormones dip goes out of balance. Oh, then the sleep goes, and then your digestive system goes, because your body knows how to survive and knows what to do with the right thing. But we as humans go, well, I'll control this and I'll just give it this and I'll just give it this. Oh, I'll take out that food group. I'll take out that food group. I won't give it any calories. So what I said before about me, I'm 5'2". I'll probably need about, just to survive, 1,300 calories a day, right? That's if I'm in a hospital bed, lying there,
not doing anything.
Just not doing anything. But if I put my that into like a calculator, if I want to lose some weight, it'll tell me to eat less than that a day. But if I need to eat that just to survive, what do you think my body's thinking? It's like, well, I now need to sort your hormones out, your digestive system. We need to fuel your brain. We need to do all of this, and you want to lose weight? Do you not think that's the last thing that's going to go quickly? And then it'll go, well, hang on a minute. We can't afford to lose any more weight because you're going to die. We need to slow this motherfucker down. We actually may need to put more weight on you because we want to survive. Your body's so smart, and it's so frustrating that we as humans think that there's no consequence. Like bulimia, I thought there was no consequences. There's massive consequences from that. I lost a couple of teeth. But my digestive system was messed up for years. I had cellulite. I know that's a lot of women have, but like inflammation. There's so much, that you don't see on the inside from what people are doing physically to themselves.
Digestive system's the one, innit? If you're not
massive,
eating that right. Your gut,
your microbiome, yeah.
How much do you delve into that now? The sort of like that sort of nutrition-wise and going into the digestive systems?
A lot. I do try and put all the good stuff in. I have prebiotics, probiotics every day. I try and eat whole foods, but I also treat myself now. I don't hold it. If I want it, I'll have it. I'll have a couple of drinks a week. Sometimes not. I might not even bother. If I go out for dinner or me and Tom are going to share a bottle of wine, I don't look at anything as bad now, and that's the difference. I don't deem anything as bad. If I fancy it, I'm going to have it, but I'm not going to have it every day. I'm not even going to have it 3 days a week. I'll just go, I'll treat myself to that, But I went down a hole at the end of this year where I went, fuck it, I'll just see what happens. I even wrote about it in the book. I went, just fuck it, I'm just going to eat shit every day. It's Christmas, fuck it. Why not? And I put on about half stone over like 2 or 3 months. And then I went on and noticed, oh fuck, I've got to get this off. But at the same time, I ate a lot of food to do that, and I wasn't moving. I had an injury, so I wasn't going to the gym. So I went the other way, just so I went, oh, don't be scared anymore, because it's, one packet of crisps isn't not gonna do anything bad, It's if you have 10 bags a day.
It's mad that just getting the balance is so key into it. You're either one way or the fucking other way, and it's just getting that balance in the middle.
It is easier said than done, but that's kind of what I want to talk about and help people with. You know, I know, like, I think, like, you know, when I saw you last, you know, I was talking about doing the, you know, the coaching, you know, certification. I don't feel like that's my purpose or passion. But I do think that I would like to use my social media, my platform, to help people with eating disorders and break free of that noise and get them back on track. Because I've got other things going on now, and I'm finding other things that I'm passionate about and that are opening doors and going, oh. So I love that. You know, I love that you know, that you don't have to just stick to one lane or to, you know, there's so many things, you know. So I'm hope, you know, I think since the book coming out, it's really opened my eyes as to, you know, what you can learn about yourself, what you can share. Everyone's journey is different. You know, what might works for me might not work for someone else. So it's all right me sitting here saying all this stuff, but it's just a blueprint, not a carbon copy. Oh, I like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mint, that, isn't it? So do you think that is your purpose? So, you know, why you've been put here to help people with? I think it's a part of it. Part of it.
You know, I'm an actress. That's all. You know, that's what I've always wanted. What I wanted to do. I'm an actress. I have just landed another job, and I'm starting filming next month. I can't say anything about it though. It's a pilot, and it's a green phase, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to, you know, be getting back on a set again, to recording the audio book, to getting that out there. I want to write more. For me, I'm very creative, so I kind of want to keep going down the creativity avenue. You know, producing, you know, possibly move into documentary as well, and just keep peeling this fucking onion and going, what's next, you know? And if I can help people along the way and talk about my experience in an honest way that I can, then brilliant.
Fucking good, that, weren't it? Where can people find you? Where can people buy the book? Where can they follow you, Stephanie?
So, the book
Stephanie Waring, you've gone for the posh name, haven't you?
Well, that's my full name.
I know it is, but I was calling you Steph.
Steph, yeah. So it's Breaking the Script. It's on Amazon now.
Who did the image?
Oh, so the image is a concept by my dear friend and writer-producer Rob Ellis, who helped me get the book over the line. And it's basically kintsugi, you know, the Japanese crockery. When you break it, you put it together with gold, it's stronger. So all the cracks represent the flaws, the cracks, the trauma, and the gold is where you come back stronger. So that was that concept, that very strong, you know.
It's class.
Like, so that's that. And yeah, so that's available on Amazon. You can also get a digital download from my website. It is on Kindle on Amazon, but it's cheaper on my website.
When you're doing the audiobook?
Well, it's nearly edited. I did do a version of it in July, and then but when I got it back, I was talking too fast. I was swallowing some words. So I was like, do you know what, I'm going to do it on my own. So I'm just keep editing it. I'm so perfectionist, keep going back. So I'm nearly done editing, and that'll be up, and that'll be, you know, on every, you know, all your platforms, or your, you know, iTunes, Spotify, Audible. I'll have it on my website as well, where you can get a free download of my book with it. So that's that.
Very exciting, Steph. Very exciting. Yeah. Social media, where are you on Instagram?
Steph Waring.
Steph Waring on Instagram. Yeah. Go and follow Steph, everybody. Love you, Steph. Goodbye. Thank you for listening, everybody. Goodbye.